Hotels in Bellingham are staying open, and we're ready to serve everybody when everybody's safe to travel again.
We're here with Dana Weber with the Best Western Plus Bellingham Airport Hotel to talk a little bit about how the pandemic has affected the lodging industry. Clearly, some big impacts here in this area. Dana, thanks for taking the time and being with us on the program.
Thank you.
So, if you could talk a little bit about what you've seen, sort of on the ground, what's happening in hotels locally? Travel's down, tourism is almost non-existent right now. What are you seeing?
In my career, I've been in this career now for almost 20 years. This is the most empty I've seen any hotel in any area for that matter. Most hotels are running into 10 to 15% occupancy range right now, and you're only seeing essential workers right now. At this point, there's no tourists, the airport's closed, the Canadian border's closed, so effectively it's pretty barren right now.
So, what do you think the outlook is for the future? Obviously, there's so many unknowns, and the more we talked with other people in the community, it's hard to plan for a lot of these things. But do you have any sense of when things will start to recover and you'll start seeing more people come in and use your rooms again?
Well, the first thing that's going to need to happen, obviously, is the stay-at-home order to be lifted. And once that's lifted, we do see a lot of staycations is probably going to be the first thing to come back. Obviously, a lot of the big festivals have already canceled now for the summer. So we're forecasting a lot of people coming from Seattle, for example, or Vancouver once the border reopens to just get away, just short drives to places like that. And it'll slowly recover. It's going to take a while to recover from this.
Yeah, so I think of things like the Ski to Sea and all these other landmark events that we have in town that draw a ton of people and that sustain our community in so many ways. What are some of the big events that you're really missing this year that you wish you could be there for?
Definitely, most recently, of course, the Northwest Washington Fair was a big one. I know we do see people come down from Canada to go to that. The soccer tournaments are going to be a big loss this summer. Those are definitely the biggest. They bring in the most guests into the area. The Ragnar Relay Race is another one. So a lot of the sports events are going to be tough to overcome.
So what are some things that have been happening at the hotels? I know people are all reacting to this differently, but what has that meant for the way that you're running that hotel at the Best Western, and what are you learning how to adapt and keep your guests safe and all those things?
Yeah, definitely. One of the big things, breakfast is a big one. For example, at my hotel, it used to be a breakfast buffet. Everybody'd come down each morning, and now it's gone to a to-go breakfast in a bag, pre-wrapped. I know a lot of brands have done similar measures, but it's all behind the front desk. A lot of things are being controlled now, at least here for the guests, behind the front desk. A lot of the hotels have put up the protective screens, and then the front desk and all employees for that matter are wearing PPE, the gloves and masks. Pools are closed right now out of abundance of caution. Some hotels have closed their fitness centers as well. Another thing you're starting to see a couple of the brands do is closing rooms after they're occupied. So they close them for 48 hours after they are occupied, gives them that much more time for if there was any kind of sickness in there, hopefully it would die off by then.
Yeah, and I hear that you guys are also trying to help out frontline workers and medical professionals. What are you doing for that population, people who need space, who either are self-quarantining or they're trying to, maybe they're coming up to work? What are some things that you're offering for them?
Best Western, for example, is doing a Frontline Rewards program, so they're automatically upgraded to the gold status for Best Western Rewards. I know other brands are doing similar measures, as well as offering special rates to first responders, anything of that nature. That seems to be what I've noticed most brands are doing right now.
And then, so let's talk also about LTAC. This is the lodging tax that funds a lot of programs, marketing, and festivals, the big events that we put on. And, as my understanding is that there's a portion of each hotel room sold that goes into this fund, and then that fund can be used for a lot of different things. Obviously, with hotel rooms not being booked up as much, what's the impact going to be on our community in that regard?
It's going to be huge. I mean, most hotels are down 75 to 80% right now in revenues. So when you factor that, that's 75 to 80% less taxes being collected. Now, effectively, we should start to improve a little bit as the year goes on, but some are forecasting probably down 50 to 60% in revenues this year overall, which that's all going to go straight to LTAC. So that affects the tourism board or tourism bureaus, the any of the small events that are coming in. It's definitely going to be a factor in 2021 and in the future.
Yeah. So as we kind of wrap things up here, what are some things that you want to leave people with? If they could take away one thing from this video, what would that be?
The biggest thing I want to say is the hotels in Bellingham are staying open, and we're ready to serve everybody when everybody's safe to travel again. And when they do come back, we're all got the extra cleaning measures, the um, our friendly service, of course, and we're ready to welcome people back to Bellingham and whatever they want to do. So we're ready.
And it will come in time, I'm sure. We'll just have to hold in there a little bit longer.
Absolutely.
Well, Dana, thanks for taking the time to chat with us today, and best of luck with your hotel and the next couple of months. I know it's a hard road ahead, but keep your head up, and I'm sure we're all going to make it through this.
We're going to get through this together, and I think we're going to come through this stronger.